Yan. So, blessed day guys. Ngayon, I made a video. So, I hope you will listen carefully sa ating video and find time to at least access yung ating mga activities later on after natin matapos tong video natin. So, we are already through sa composite functions. So, ibig sabihin, magpo-proceed na tayo sa next lesson natin which is yung rational functions, equations, and inequalities. So, I've already introduced some examples ng ating rational functions, di ba? So, yung ating rational functions is always represented by f of x, which is we always denote this sa ating mga equations or sa ating mga examples. Okay, yung differences lang ng mga to, we have yung rational function, we always have f of x, or we have yung kanyang equivalent value, which is yung ating y. Because yung f of x natin is always na yung output, tinatawag natin na output, and that is similar sa ating y. So that's why yung f of x natin is also equivalent to our y. Sa equations naman, of course, yung ating equality symbol. While sa ating inequality, we always have yung, of course, inequality symbol like less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, less than, or greater than. So, yan yung mga symbols natin that is associated sa ating topic for today. So, before tayo mag-proceed dyan, of course, kailangan muna nating intindihin ano ba tong rational functions, rational equations, and rational inequalities. So, let's take yung first slide natin. So, based on the definition, okay, nasa functions tayo. Okay, nandyan. So, rational function or r of x. So, we denote yung ating function as r of x, which is a function of the form r of x, which is equal to p of x over q of x. So, yan yung ating function. So, yung p of x natin plus and yung q of x are tinatawag natin na polynomial function. So, later on, there are cases na yung rational expressions natin are not rational mainly because hindi sila polynomial. So, note natin later on yung bagay na yun. So, dito, take note na yung numerator natin, which is yung p of x, at saka yung denominator natin, which is q of x, okay, should be polynomials. And aside from that, dapat yung denominator natin, which is q of x, should not be equal to 0. Okay? Bakit hindi siya pwedeng maging 0? Okay, that is a nice question. So why is it that when it comes to fractions or rationals, there is always a case or a critical thing wherein our denominator should not be equal to 0? I've already introduced to you that if the denominator is 0, like for example, we have 1 divided by 0, the answer is always what, class? Yes, we have undefined. Okay? Undefined palagi yung lumalabas na sagot. That's why we always note na hindi pwedeng maging 0 yung denominator natin. Okay? Pero if yung numerator lang yung 0, like for example, we have 0, 0 divided by 1, the answer is always 0. So yung condition lang, okay, yung condition lang is that our denominator should not be equal. So hindi pwedeng maging 0. Okay, yung kanyang value. So the domain of r of x is a set of real numbers such that q of x should not be equal to 0 because we are finding values kasi dito. We are finding outputs. Since hindi tayo makakahanap ng output if 0 yung denominator kasi yung result is always undefined. Okay, that's why we always note that case sa ating rationals or sa ating mga fractions. Okay, proceed ako sa next slide. So these are examples ng ating rational functions. Of course, we can always see yung ating mga r of x, f of x, which signifies our rational functions. Okay, rational functions. So we have here r of x, which is equal to x cubed minus 1 all over x plus 1. Take note of this condition. Ang sinabi dito, x should not be equal to, this should be negative 1. Okay? So, x should not be equal to negative 1. Why is it that x should not be equal to negative 1? Because based on our definitions kanina, okay, let's go back sa ating definition. Ang sinabi natin kanina sa definition natin na yung ating denominator, 'di ba, yung ating p P of x over Q of x, yung Q of x should not be equal to 0. Okay? Hindi dapat equal sa 0. So, ngayon, if we substitute negative 1, so let's note muna. So, kunin muna natin yung denominator natin. So, we have x plus 1. Erase ko lang siya dito sa part na to. So, we have x plus 1. Ngayon, if x, yung value niya ay negative 1, so ibig sabihin, we substitute this one sa ating expression na x plus 1, so magiging negative 1 plus 1. So if we use your calculator, okay, if you input negative 1 plus 1, the answer is 0. That's why dito sa ating rational functions, x should not be equal to negative 1. Kasi kapag negative 1 yung value niya, magiging 0 yung denominator natin. So, ibig sabihin, magiging undefined yung ating function. So, hindi tayo makakahanap ng value. Okay? Kung hindi tayo nakahanap ng value, of course, hindi natin masasolve yung ating problem. So, both numerator and denominator are polynomials. Polynomial functions. So, denominator has restriction. So, meron siyang restriction, which is yung x, which is not equal to negative 1. Hindi dapat equal sa negative 1. Nagkamali lang po yung ating slide. Okay? That should be negative 1. So, because it should not be equal to 0. So, kasi yung denominator natin, so yung goal natin dito, dapat hindi siya equal sa 0, yung denominator. Okay? Yung denominator lang yung kino-consider natin. Ngayon dito, we have, sa second example natin, f of x is equal to 1 over x. Ngayon dito, we have yung restriction na x should not be equal to 0. Bakit? Kasi we have to, if you substitute, like for example, we substitute 1, ay sa yung x natin to 0, so we have 1 over 0 that is now equal to undefined. Still undefined. Hindi natin makukuha yung kanyang value. Okay? Kaya hindi pwedeng maging 0 yung ating denominator. Now, what if, like for example, we have f of x, okay, sulat muna ako dito sa taas, f of x which is equal to 1 over x minus 1. What do you think? What do you think yung restriction natin dito sa ating function na to? X should not be equal to what? Okay, we have 1. Very good. So, kapag 1 kasi dito sa ating yung value ng x, so we have 1 over 1 minus 1. So, yung 1 minus 1, that is 0, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, magiging 0 na yung denominator natin, magiging undefined na yung function natin. Kaya yung restriction natin for this example is that x should not, okay, should not be equal to 1. Okay? So, yung focus lang natin, guys, yung focus natin on this examples is that our denominator. Yun lang yung tinitignan natin. Yun lang yung focus natin. Wherein, our denominator should not be equal to 0. Okay? Yun lang yung tinitignan natin. Na dapat, hindi siya equal to 0. Okay? So, that is the example of rational functions. So, tanggalin muna natin kasi medyo magulo na yung ating slide. Okay? So, yan. I hope wala kayong question dito. But if you have question, you are free actually to ask kung sa akin. Okay? You can just text me or message me sa ating messenger kung meron kayong questions regarding sa ating lesson. Okay? So, proceed na ako sa ating next slide. Ayan. So, now, ang gagawin natin, magte-take na tayo ng real-world examples about rational functions. Okay? Paano ba gumawa? Okay? Paano ba nako-connect yung ating topic, which is rational functions, in real life? So, let's take this example. The local government unit allotted a budget of 100,000 pesos for the feeding program in the daycare center. So, the amount will be divided equally to all the pupils in the daycare center. So, write an equation showing the relationship of the allotted amount per pupil represented by f of x versus the total number of children represented by x. So, ano yung problem natin dito? Okay? So, we have here yung local government unit. Meron silang budget. Ilan yung budget natin? We have 100,000 pesos. Ngayon ito, they will gonna use this for the feeding program activity. Okay? For the daycare center. Yan yung panggagamitan nila ng 100,000 pesos. So, what is our problem dito? Take note, ang sinabi kasi is divided equally. So, we will divide yung budget equally to whom? To all the pupils, okay? To all the pupils in the daycare center. But yung inonote natin dito is that we do not know kung ilan, di ba? Ngayon, if we ever take note, we have the function na f of x. Yung f of x, this is the budget. Budget per pupil. Okay? Budget per pupil. Per pupil. Okay? Pasensya na kayo sa sulat ko. Yung x natin, that is the, ano yung x natin? Number of pupils. Diba? Number of children or pupils. Okay, number of children. So, yan yung x natin. Yung f of x yan kasi yung magiging output. Nakadepende yan kung ilan yung number ng children natin. Okay? Or number ng mga estudyante doon sa mismo, sa daycare center na ito. Ngayon, this is the representation ng ating problem. So, we have here yung number of children which is represented by our input which is x. So, we have here 10 children. What if meron tayong 10 estudyante or children sa daycare center? What if we have 20? What if we have 50? What if we have 100? Or what if we have 200? Now, ano yung magiging budget nila if ever ganito yung population ng daycare center? Okay? So, dito, titignan na natin yung allocated amount per child. Ilan ba yung magiging budget per child? Okay? If there are 10, okay, kung may 10 children, so i-divide natin yung ating ilan kanina? We have 100,000, di ba? So yung 100,000 natin, i-divide natin to how many? We have 10 na children. So ibig sabihin, we have 10,000 per child. Di ba? We have 10,000 per child. What if, di ba? What if we have 20 students or we have 20 children sa daycare center? We have 5,000 as the budget per child. If we have 50, we have 2,000. For 100, we have 1,000. And for 200, we have 500 pesos. Now, how did we get these values? So, since sinabi kanina that the budget should be divided equally. Okay? So, dito, yung ginawa natin class sa number of children, tayo mismo yung naglagay ng value. Okay? Kasi tayo yung maglalagay ng input. So, we have 10. Yung in-input natin, 20, 50, 100, and 200. Yan yung linagay natin. Okay? As value of our x. Ang kinompute natin is the allocated amount per child, which is ito, yung result. Okay? Yan. 10,000, we have 5,000, 2,000, 1,000, and 5,000 pesos. Now, how did we arrive with this result? So, ang ginawa natin, di ba, dinivide natin. To represent yung ating formula, okay, nandito yung ating formula. So, we have f of x. So, this is yung f of x natin na sinabi natin kanina, that is the allocated amount per child. Okay? So, yung x natin, that is the number of children. Now, dito, this is our equation. So, we have 100,000 divided by x. X, which is our number of children. Okay? So, 100,000 divided by 10, we get 10,000. 100,000 divided by 20, we get 5,000. 100,000 divided by 50, we get 2,000. 100,000 divided by 100, we have 1,000. And 100,000 divided by 200, we get 5,000. So, ganun lang. Okay, that's how we arrive at the output or the value of our function f of x, which is the allocated amount per child. We just divide yung budget, okay, sa number of children. Now, we have here another case. What if, di ba? Suppose a benefactor wants to supplement. What do we mean by supplement? Supplement, dadagdagan, okay? The budget allocated for each child by donating additional 650 per child. Okay, per child. So, ibig sabihin, magdadagdag tayo ng 650 pesos per child. Okay, so if h of x, so we have the function h of x. So, kanina we have f of x. So, dito we have h of x. Pero kamali dito sa ating function, this should be h. Okay, kasi h yung sinabi. Represents the new amount allotted per child. So, construct a function representing the relationship using the table we used earlier. So, kung kanina, if we have 10 children, nakakuha tayo ng 10,000 budget per child. But, sinabi naman sa ating situation, magsosupply daw sila ng 650. That's why we add, okay? We add 650 pesos. So, that will now become the budget of our allocated amount per child. Now, dito, how do we represent yung ating function? Of course, kukunin pa rin natin yung original. We have 100,000 divide by x, and then saka tayo magdadagdag ng 650, which is yung supplement na 650 pesos based sa ating statement kanina. Okay? So, yan na. We have plus 650. So, that's how we arrive with the function g of x, or this should be h of x. So, h of x, which is equal to 100,000 over x plus 650. So, when you are writing your equation, do not forget yung ating domain. Okay, yung ating x value. Kung x yung linagay natin dito, okay, wait lang. We have here, dito, yung ating, we have g of x. So, kung g of x yan, ibig sabihin x rin yung ating nandito. Huwag niyong ilagay na g. Okay. Now, let's try another example. So, dito, we have here yung next. I hope na-follow natin yung ating example about rational function. So, a car is to travel a distance of 70 kilometers. So, yan yung tina-travel. So, nasa distance problem naman na tayo. So, express the velocity. Okay, so yung velocity natin, symbol niya, we have v. Okay, small letter v. As a function of travel time t, so we have also yung symbol ng time natin, which is small letter t, and yung unit niya should be hours. So yung distance natin is in kilometer. So ano yung symbol ng kilometer, class? We have km. Very good. So dito, proceed tayo sa ating situation. So gagawa daw tayo ng function, okay, of travel time t in hours. Now, based sa ating situation, class, di ba? Yung daw car nakaka-travel ng distance of 70 kilometer. Okay? 70 kilometer. So, we have v of t. So, yan yung function natin. So, naka-depende yung velocity, okay, itong v, naka-depende yung velocity natin doon sa time, okay, sa r, kung ilang hours ba yung travel niya, tas kung ilang distance, kung anong distance yung na-travel na in that particular time. So, dito represent natin sa ating table. Kapag kasi mag-equate tayo, sometimes it is better to visualize it using tables. So, that's why dito, we have here yung table natin for this problem. So, if 1 hour, okay, meron tayong 1 hour dito. So, itong time na to, tayo yung naglagay. So, what if we have 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, and 10 hours? Ilan yung magiging velocity ng car natin? Okay? So, yung velocity natin, class, is represented by, ano? We have V is equal to distance over time, di ba? Sa science natin. So, distance, that is yung kilometer, which is 70 kanina. So, we have 70. Over yung time natin, which is 1. Diba? So, we have 70 divided by 1, that is 70. That's why yung ating velocity is 70. Ngayon, dito sa 2, what if 2 hours? Diba? So, we have to rewrite 70 divided by 2. So, ano yung magiging value niya? We have 35 km per hour. So, yung velocity daw ng car, okay, kapag nagta-travel siya, 35 km per 2 hours. So, yung 2 hours, 35 kilometer yung distance na travel niya. Okay, 35 kilometer per hour. Per 2 hours. Kasi 2 hours mo dahil. Okay, and then we have, if 3, then ginagawa lang natin, we just divide yung distance kanina, which is 70 kilometer by kung ilang hours. Okay? Kung 3 hours naman, then we have 23.33 kilometer per hour. Okay? Kapag 5 hours naman, we have 14 kilometer per, yan, depende sa hours natin. So, since 5 yan, then 5. Then we have here yung ating time. If 10, then we have 7. So, yung formula natin, class, is v of t is now equal to 70 over t. 70, which refers to the distance, kasi binigay naman kanina dito sa ating problem. Okay? Nandito yung ating given. Okay, I hope na di makasulat yung ating pen. Wait lang. Okay, so nandito. So, given kanina yung 70. Ngayon, yan yung equivalent natin. So, we have 70 over t, which is t yung time natin. So, take note, magkaka-align dapat yung nandito sa domain natin at dun sa ating equation. V of, kung t yung ginamit mo dyan, ibig sabihin t rin yung gagamitin natin dito. Huwag kayong gumamit ng v or ng ibang variable. Okay? So, let me erase muna. Hindi ko ma-erase yung ating wait lang. Mag-erase muna tayo. So, if ever naguguluhan kayo sa ating rational function na topic, you are free to ask me or to ask guidance sa akin after ninyong mapanood ito. But if ever naintindihan nyo naman, then well and good. Okay? So, yung ginagawa lang natin dito is we are finding the function. Okay? We are finding the function. We are equating, or we are just finding the formula, okay, in computing this kind of problem, real life problem. Okay, gumagawa tayo. So, what is the step? We always have to use yung table natin. And then, of course, mag-i-input tayo. Okay, yung input natin, since ICT kayo, I know that you know yung input na tinatawag natin. So, yung linalagay natin, which is yung ating x. Okay? So, yan. Tayong maglalagay ng value niya. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If given naman to, then ang gagawin nyo na lang is to solve for the value of the output or yung ating function. Okay? So, yan. Ang gagawin mo na lang, magko-compute. If given to. But what if hindi yan given? Okay? Hindi provide yung ating domain. Ibig sabihin, first kailangan ninyong maglagay ng value kasi if you do not provide an input or maglagay ng value yung domain natin, of course, how are you going to find the output? Diba? So that's why it is important na kailangan yung maglagay. If ever walang nakalagay. Okay? So, yan. To find the value of the output, kailangan natin maglagay ng input. So, that's all about rational function. Ayan. Now, let's take a look about rational equation, rational inequality, and of course, as well yung rational function natin. So, we are through doon sa real life concept ng rational function. Tapos na rin natin yung kanyang formula or yung kanyang illustration. Okay, review lang muna natin bago tayo mag-proceed dito sa ating next lesson. Yung rational function natin is in the form r of x, which is equal to, yes, p of x over q of x. So, meron tayong dalawang condition when referring to rational function. Meron tayong dalawang condition para matawag siyang rational function or rational. So, the first condition, class, is ano yung sinabi kanina about p of x and q of x? Diba? We have r of x, which is equal to p of x over q of x. Ano yung sinabi kanina sa numerator and denominator natin? Dapat ay polynomial sila. So, they should be polynomial. So, yun yung kino-consider natin para rational yung ating function. Okay? Kung di sila polynomial, ibig sabihin they are not rational. Another condition is that, ano yung susunod na condition natin? We have yung denominator, which is yung q of x, should not be equal to 0. Okay, very good. So, yun yung ating conditions regarding sa ating rational functions. Do not forget itong dalawang condition kasi if these are not met, then ibig sabihin, our example or our given is not a rational function. Okay, now let's proceed sa ating equation and inequality. This is actually true even sa ating equation and sa ating inequality. Okay? So, yung itong characteristics na to is true for all rational. Okay? For all rational. Do not forget yung ating rational na yan. So, we are true dun sa illustration ng rational function and we are also true sa application niya in real life. Wherein, we just finish discussing on yung about velocity and about sa budget. Ngayon, let's proceed sa rational equation, rational function, and rational inequality. Now, let's note muna yung identity. Okay, what is the identity of a rational equation? How are you going to differentiate a rational equation to that of a rational function and with that of an inequality? So, paano yung character, ano yung identity niya? Okay, identity nila. When we talk about rational equation, we always come across yung equality sign. That's why tinatawag natin siyang rational equation. Okay, nandun pa rin yung equality sign. Kapag function naman, kakasabi ko lang kanina, ano yung sinabi ko kanina, para matawag natin siyang function, we always see yung symbol na, okay, we have f of x. Okay, we always have f of x or, ano yung sinabi ko kanina, we have y. Okay, we always come across these symbols. Kapag nakita nyo yan, ibig sabihin rational function yung ating example. Now, how about if inequality? For equation, you have yung equality symbol. Kapag function, we have yung f of x at saka yung y. For inequality, we also have yung inequality symbols like less than, greater than, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. So, yan yung ating symbols when we refer to rational inequality. Okay, ito yung mga symbols niya. So, do not forget these things kasi yan yung pinaka-basis natin sa lesson natin na susunod. Okay, let's go over dito sa ating lesson. Ngayon, ayan. So, consider the following algebraic expressions. Determine whether they are rational. Ngayon, titignan natin kung rational ba siya or not. Not rational. So, start muna tayo sa number 1. Ang meron dito, we have 3x squared minus 5x plus 2 over x plus 1. So, dito, this is, ang sinabi, we have rational expression. Okay. Doon sa ating topic kanina, hindi na-include yung rational expression, di ba? Hindi ko sinabi yung rational expression. Why? Because yung composition ng ating function at equation and inequality is actually a rational expression. Kung wala kang makikitang equal sign, wala kang makikitang f of x or y, or wala kang makikitang inequality symbols, then ibig sabihin, ang tawag natin sa fraction na yun is a rational expression. So like for example, we have 2x plus 3 over 3. So this is irrational expression. Wala kang makikitang equal sign or ng greater than or ng f of x. Okay, kung wala kang nakikitang ganyan, ibig sabihin, the example is a rational expression. Okay, ang tawag natin doon ay rational expression. So, yung example number 1 natin is an example of irrational expression. So, ibig sabihin, rational siya. Okay, nami-meet niya yung condition. 0 ba yung denominator natin? Hindi. So, ibig sabihin, na-meet natin ito. Next, polynomials ba yung ating numerator and denominator? Yes, na-meet natin yan. Kasi these are polynomials. Yung exponential natin, 3x squared minus 5x plus 2. These are exponential. These are polynomials. Next, number 2 natin, we have 2 over x minus 5. Now, is this irrational or not rational? Of course, nandito na yung sagot. Okay, this is irrational. Now, meron lang tayong isang hindi rational dito. We have yung number 3. Now, what makes this, for examples, different from each other? Or what makes 3 different from 1, 2, and 4 example? Number 1, number 2, and number 4 example. Ano yung meron sa number 3 or ano yung kakaiba sa ating number 3 na wala dito sa ating number 1, number 2, and number 4? What do you think, class? Ano yung kakaiba sa kanya? Okay, very good. So we have here yung ating square root. Okay? Nandito yung ating radical sign. Kapag nakikita natin yung radical sign, actually automatic na yan eh. It's already automatic that our expression is not rational if it includes a radical sign. So kung meron yung mga square root natin, cube root natin, ibig sabihin yung ating rational ay hindi na rational. That's why ang tawag natin sa kanya is not a rational expression. Kahit ito, this one is irrational. Kasi bakit? Although makikita natin hindi siya naka-over, di ba? Wala siyang over 1 or hindi siya naka-fraction form. Take note, yung mga whole numbers natin have a denominator which is 1. Okay, hindi nga lang visible kasi if we divide this, it's still equal to the expression itself. So, x plus 5 divided by 1 is x plus 5 pa rin. That's why there's no need to write 1 sa denominator natin. So, this is still irrational expression. So, lahat ng whole numbers natin actually is rational. Diba? We have 1 over 1 or 1, 2. All of this has a denominator which is 1. That's why they are also under rational. Okay? So, yung only condition natin dito, class, is that yung ating numerator or denominator should not have, okay? Note natin, should not have yung radical symbol or radical sign natin na square root. Okay, do not forget, dapat wala siyang square root. Actually, you've already met yung ating mga symbols na to way back when you were in grade 9. Okay, nandun na noon, na-discuss na noon ng mga teachers nyo nung grade 9 kayo about radicals. Okay? So, let's proceed. Now, let's try to differentiate yung ating rational equation, rational inequality, and yung ating rational function. Okay, ang sabi natin dito, rational equation. So, an equation, take note, we have equation. An equation involving rational expressions. Ibig sabihin, it is composed of rational expressions. Okay? Basic example, we always have yung equality symbol. Nandyan na. Okay? Yung equality sign natin. So, we have x plus 4 over x minus 1 which is equal. So, nandun na. Nandun na yung equality symbol natin which is the basic identity of our rational equation. Now, proceed tayo sa rational inequality. So, an rational inequality is an inequality involving rational expressions. So, still, it is composed of rational expressions. So, sinabi ko na kanina yung basic identity ng ating inequality. That's why you can always see yung ating greater than. Okay? Greater than dyan. Now, proceed tayo sa last na example na definition natin. We have rational function. So, actually, ito, pinaka-paulit-ulit na natin sinasabi. Okay, we have f of x which is equal to p of x over q of x. And we note that the numerator and denominator should be polynomials and that our denominator should not be equal to 0. So, dito we always see yung ating f of x na symbol. F of x is equal to x plus 3. So, this is an example of rational function. Bakit? Dahil we can see yung ating f of x. What if, class? Paano if yung nakasulat dyan ay y is equal to x plus 3? Anong tawag natin dito? Is it rational equation or rational function? Yes, ang tawag natin dito ay rational function mainly because of the symbol na y. Diba? Kasi sabi natin kanina, f of x is also equal to y. That's why kapag y ang nakita mo dyan, ibig sabihin it is a rational function. Now, meron question sa ibang class before about yung functions natin. 'Di ba? Kapag nakikita natin sa ating function, nakikita naman yung equality symbol, 'di ba? Meron kang nakikitang equality symbol nandito. Bakit hindi siya tinatawag na rational equation ay meron naman siyang equality symbol? Okay? So dito, nasa context yung function natin, nasa context ng equation. Okay? That's why we have f of x is equal, but still under function. Now, meron yung question before we have f of x which is less than x plus 3. Now, what do you think? Is this irrational function or irrational inequality? It's both. Okay? This is both irrational function and a rational inequality. Okay? Bakit siya both? Kasi yung ating function is in the context of inequality. Okay? Rational inequality. Nasa konteksto siya, nasa umbrella siya ng inequality. That's why it is either a rational function or irrational inequality. So, yun lang yung ating indication dito. So, take note of the differences. Okay, we have function, we have equation, and we have yung inequality. Okay, so that is the differences of our equation, inequality, and ng ating function. I think I've prepared something as your activity for today. So, ang gagawin ninyo, of course, ayan, bago pala tayong mag-activity, meron tayong additional example. So, yung additional example natin, we have x plus 5 over x minus 1, which is equal to y. Now, this is an example of irrational function. Bakit? Bakit, class? Because of the symbol y. Okay? Nandun yung y natin sa ating equation. So, ibig sabihin, this is a rational function. Now, proceed tayo sa number 2. Nakikita natin tong symbol na to. So, anong tawag natin dito? Sa buong function na to, ay sa buong expression na to, we have rational inequality. Joke. Hindi siya rational inequality. Bakit? Ano yung mapapansin natin? Sa numerator natin, yes, we have the inequality. We have the radical sign. Take note, naka-square root of 2 siya. Diba, ang sabi natin kanina, it's not rational kapag meron tayong radical. Okay? Not rational kung meron tayong radical sign. Be it sa numerator or sa ating denominator, if makikita natin to, then it's not rational. So, proceed tayo sa ating activity. So, this will be your activity for today. So, magbibigay ako ng Google form. Okay, mag-create ako ng Google form para doon nyo isosubmit yung ating activity regarding sa ating rational function, rational equation, and rational inequality. So, dito sa 1 to 5, meron tayong 4 na pinagpipilian. Okay? Just write rational function, rational equation, or rational inequality. Or pwede rin naman na kung wala sa kanilang tatlo, ang isusulat lang natin is none of this. Okay? Yan lang yung isusulat nyo. So, this is your activity for today. After you are through, of course, ang gagawin natin, isusubmit natin yan sa atin. Kindly submit yung result or yung, yes, of course, kailangan nating isubmit yan. Okay, I'll be creating a form, a Google form, doon nyo na lang i-upload yung inyong result or yung inyong sagot regarding sa ating activity, which is ito. So, aside from that, meron rin ito. So, we have activity number 2. So, pakicopy na lang sa inyong notebook or you can just post yung ating video presentation para makopya ninyo sa one whole. So, kindly write this in a one whole sheet of paper. Okay, you can use yellow pad. Pero dito, ang gagawin nyo is submit nyo siya. Okay, mag-create ako ng Google form. Doon nyo i-upload. Okay, i-upload nyo siya sa Google form. Okay, i-upload ninyo sa Google form yung inyong sagot. Okay, dapat kumpletuhin nyo yan. or you can just take a picture ng one hole ninyo, dapat nandun yung ating mga activity. Okay, so activity 1 and activity number 2. So I'll be posting also yung picture nito doon sa ating GC para at least makita ninyo if ever hindi nyo hindi visible or hindi vivid yung ating mga functions or yung ating mga um, items dito sa ating activity number 2. Okay? If ever you have questions regarding sa lesson natin, you are free to ask me sa ating messenger within yung duration ng ating lesson. Okay? So for our next topic, okay, ito na yung ating lesson which is solving rational equations and inequalities. So I hope you are ready for this topic and mag-advance study rin kayo regarding dito. So for this topic, kailangan alam ninyo yung paano mag-factor, okay, factoring. Based noong grade 9 kayo, we have yung common monomial factoring na sinasabi natin noon. Common monomial factoring. We have also yung difference of two squares na sinasabi nila. And we also have yung sum and difference of two cubes. Those are the simplest way to factor yung ating mga quadratic or ng ating mga cubic if ever hindi nyo alam or hindi kayo familiar sa kung paano yung process ng factor. Because yung mga ngayon have their formula. Meron silang mga formula. Okay? Meron silang formula. Wait lang. Now, if you have questions regarding sa ating lesson, ulitin ko lang, you can message me. Okay? Basta about sa lesson. Hindi yung sagot. Okay, that's all for today, class. I hope you have a great day. Submit also yung activity natin within yung ating time. Okay, which is 8 to basta within the day. Baka kasi meron mga ibang activities na kailangan nyo rin gawin. But as long as you can submit it any time of the day, bukas, ay sa October 31. Okay, kasi record ko to ngayon, October 30. That's all for today, class. I hope you have a great time learning our lesson. God bless and have a good day.